This is supposed to be a love story. Listen. He had a crush on her. She was swept off her feet. She fell head over heels. But in the end, she had a broken heart. A broken heart? How? Sounds like she should have ended up in the hospital. Last week, I could tell my parents were really excited about our trip to the zoo because they kept saying things like, turkey, nice jaguar, what a weasel, bunch of cows, and it's a jungle out there. Well, we never did make it to the zoo after all. Dad said there were too many animals on the road. Ever wonder what grown-ups really mean when they talk? Well, wonder no more. It's all in the Grown-Up-Ease dictionary. Ah, here's a good one. Oh no, I couldn't possibly eat another bite means, please keep filling my plate. And this one, I really must start exercising again, which means, there, I said it, now I don't have to do it. Oh, and this one's really sneaky. That's enough, you've had quite enough dessert. That really means, hee hee hee, go to bed, the rest is mine. One time at a fancy restaurant, I got this really bad waiter. He asked if I'd like the chef's salad. Why would I want to share someone's salad, I asked. Don't you have any brains? And you know what? They did. Boiled or stewed. Then I noticed that I had 3 forks. Well, I didn't want the waiter to make me share anything, so I swapped them all for dessert spoons and ordered a huge chocolate mousse so I could eat the body and save the antlers for the morning. Sort of like an Easter bunny. But what about your main course, the waiter asked me. When I told him I was best in math, he walked away. And he calls himself a waiter. He never even waited for me to finish my order. Ever had a grown-up tell you, we'll be there in a second? Ever wondered why just a minute feels more like just an hour? Well, here are Lulu's rules about time. 1 second. That's how long it takes when you knock over your mom's unicorn lamp to when your tattletale sister screams, Mom, Lulu broke your favorite lamp. 1 hour is what the doctor really means when he says, it'll only hurt for a second. Ow! 1 day, that's how long a week at the beach feels like. And 1 week is what the drive to the beach seemed to take. 1 month, that's how long you're usually grounded for breaking unicorn lamps. And 1 year, that's probably how long it's been since your teacher smiled. This is Gloria's idea of a fun sport. Jumping, cheering, and flapping pom-poms. And she does this while Tubby and the other boys play football and get their teeth kicked, their shins whacked, their bottoms booted, and their bodies bruised. Hey, maybe I should ask the coach to let Gloria try out for the football team. You know that story with the princess who falls into a deep sleep for 100 years, and then a wandering prince finds her in the middle of the forest and kisses her? It's so unbelievable. If she's been sleeping for 100 years, we're talking serious morning breath. He's not going to give her a kiss. He's going to give her some mouthwash. Lulu's book of world records. The fastest animal in the world is my dog when he hears the can opener. The slowest animal in the world is my dog when he has to go to the vet. The fastest person in the world is Tubby when he hears the ice cream truck. The slowest person in the world is my dad on Sunday when there are chores to do. The fastest vegetable in the world is the pea, because they can really fly off the spoon. The most meatballs ever eaten all at once, 16, Dad, last Sunday. Most time ever spent in the bathroom, 2 hours, Dad, last Sunday. The softest thing in the world is my bed. And the hardest thing in the world, my mom says it's my head. Have you noticed you always hear about cavemen? Cavemen did this, cavemen did that. But you never hear about cave women. You know why? I think it's because women didn't live in caves. There's no way a woman would have been dumb enough to spend all day washing rocks, sweeping dirt floors, and banging her head on low-hanging bats. I bet While all the cave fellers were crowded together in caves trying to see who had the hairiest back, the women were all nice and comfy in their brand new Stone Age houses. But that doesn't mean cavemen weren't smart. They did, after all, discover fire. But only because they were lucky enough to be in their cave when it was struck by lightning. I've noticed that when something really good happens, it's usually followed by something that's not so good. Examples? Yesterday I didn't have my homework. Well, because I didn't do it. And I walked into school and there was this substitute teacher. Wow, talk about luck! But then Goody Two-Shoes Gloria raised her hand and asked, "Miss, do you want me to pick up the homework assignments?" And this other time I nailed a home run right over the back wall. Good, right? Wrong, because it smashed nasty Mr. Klepper's window. Or the time Dad finally got me that dog I'd always wanted. 5 minutes in the house and Mom learned she's allergic. So I've decided that the next time life throws something good my way, I'm gonna duck. If you're like me, once or twice maybe you did something your parents didn't like. And I bet they gave you the old, "You don't understand now, but you will when you have children of your own." Well, they're right. I certainly don't understand now, but I doubt waiting for my own kids to explain it will help much. Have you heard about all those silly things people do to get good luck? Like nailing horseshoes over all their doors? Well, if you've got horseshoes hanging all over your house, you don't need good luck, you need a decorator. And then there's carrying a rabbit's foot. It's supposed to be lucky too. But the rabbit carried that foot for an awfully long time, and it wasn't so lucky for him now, was it? Most kids in their lives will go through the old asking your parents for a pet routine. And you can bet it goes something like this. "Mom, Dad, can I have a dog?" Well, Mom and Dad probably say, "How about if you start with a goldfish? Or better yet, a turtle?" Well, I think there's something you parents don't realize. If us kids want to have fun with something that's slow-moving, wrinkled, and lives to be 100, we'll go see our grandparents, okay? So here's a tip. If you ask for something with fur and your parents suggest something with scales, come back at them with a python. Now there's an animal you can have fun with, and they just love goldfish. In every class, in every school, there's always a kid who all the other kids hate. You know who it is. It's that kid who's well-groomed, who sits when he's told, fetches things for the teacher, and is always on time. That's right, the teacher's pet. The most irritating type of kid in the world. Well, when Tubby wasn't doing so well in school, he decided to become the teacher's pet. And he was extra good at it, so us kids got really fed up with him. One day, he walked into class and found a box of kibble on his desk. He got the message. Gloria was reinstated as the teacher's pet, and as for Tubby, he actually liked the kibble. What's the deal with Cinderella? Here's this sweet girl who spent all her time scrubbing floors. Then she got a chance to go to this big ball where she danced with this gorgeous prince, and they fell in love. And what does she do? The next day, she's back at it with the mop and the rags. And when the prince comes looking for her to get married, she hides in the fireplace. Bet I know what her problem was. Cinderella was dumb. Today in history class, we learned all about these hairy, long-armed, grunting creatures that like to hang out in groups. Our teacher said it was all part of the process of evolution. I think she got confused, though, and wasn't talking about evolution. She was just describing everyone who hangs out in the teacher's lounge. When I fell off my bike, Mom rushed me to the emergency room to have my head checked. Boy, anyone crazy enough to wait 3 hours to see some doctor needs to have their head examined. So if you ever find yourself in that predicament and want to get in fast, here are some ways to clear out the emergency room. First, look at the man next to you and say, "I'm here for another operation. Last time, Dr. Morgan lost his watch in my stomach." Second, sniff the air and say, the cafeteria is serving liver, kidneys, and brains for lunch again. If that doesn't clear everyone out, don't worry, because the doctor should be rushing out any second so they can get rid of you. You want to know why kids can act pretty gross. Because we learn it from our parents. Like, what's the deal with handkerchiefs? At least when us kids blow our noses, we throw the tissue away. We don't put it back in our pocket so we can use it again later. And toothpicks. I mean, if grown-ups are going to pick their teeth in a restaurant, why not just go for it? Ask the waiter for dental floss. Oh, yeah, and when grown-ups clear their throats in public, they just go, but when they're home, they sound like a space alien from a monster movie. So the next time someone asks you where you picked up your bad habits, just say you learned them from the best, your parents. Going camping with your parents isn't exactly a picnic. It's always,
we're only bringing the bare necessities.
And they pack forks, knives, an electric cheese grater, and lawn chairs. I think it's amazing how many bare necessities they can stuff into a station wagon, but the least they could do is bring stuff a bear can use. And speaking of bears, everyone knows you can't leave food out when you're camping because it'll attract bears. I've never actually seen a bear while camping, but in case I ever do, my dad said if I lie down and don't move, it'll leave me alone. And he should know, it works for him every Sunday when my mom wants him to do work around the house. Dad drove me to school the other day, and boy did he get mad when he got stuck behind this student driver. So he drove fast, hit the brakes, got really close, and swerved in and out of traffic, yelling,
This guy doesn't know how to drive. He's going fast, hitting the brakes, getting really close, and swerving in and out of traffic.
That's when I noticed that all the other people driving were mad too, honking and yelling and waving their fists at the student driver. Even the teacher in the car was yelling. That's when I figured out why there are so many bad drivers on the road. I mean, once people graduate from driving school and get their license, they must hit the road looking for revenge.